Hello! Hi, how's it going? New video! Woo! I don't know how to start YouTube videos because this is my first one. Do you just throw in memes like this? Does this count, guys? Wait, guys. No, come back! Today, we will be talking about my character, Rothy. Woo! Woo! I have had Rothy developed for many years. He has gone through a lot of redesigns and a lot of hair color changes. At one point, she was a human. At one point, she was an elf. Now she is just an elf who can transform into a human. So original, right? Right? I'm really inspired by creators like Kelsey Animated and Emily Artful and Drawing with Waffles with how they build their own OCs. I've really wanted to make a YouTube channel for many years, but for some reason, just being anxious held me back, and I wanted to just go for it. So please, just use me as background noise or watch me draw if you want as I explain my lovely OC, Rothy. Her last name is to be decided. So this story takes place in a How to Train Your Dragon-like universe, also very much inspired by stories like Percy Jackson. Rothy is the eldest adopted sibling of two. Now Rothy is very shy and awkward at first. Up until Ivy being captured, she has been very much sheltered. So afterwards, she begins training in order to get her sister back. She runs into a group of people along the way as she's trying to save her little sister, and one of them is named Zane. Now Zane is very much the standoffish kind of guy. He doesn't really trust that many people easily. He is very much inspired by characters like Zuko and Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ivy is actually related to Rothy's adopted parent, so when Ivy gets taken, Rothy becomes more confident and sure of herself and more sarcastic, and Ivy is very taken aback by this. She's like, wait, you're confident now? You have Riz? Why did I say that? And Ivy, she goes through a kind of an arc on her own. She gets to know the king and the prince that took her, and she even becomes best friends with the prince, who ends up being Rothy's brother. Ooh. So it gets very awkward really quickly because Ivy then soon realizes that Rothy is really related to the king. And that's how my story starts out, essentially. They just learn that they're related to all these evil people, and they're just sitting there with this information like, okay, now what? Yeah, so the prince and Rothy meeting is basically like, oh, we're actually siblings. Oh great, this is gonna be awkward getting to know each other after we were just fighting each other the entire time. But hi, how are— So my story is about pretty much trying to find your identity outside of your family and what your family was. It's a lot about breaking generational cycles. With the prince, he leaves his father, that's the king, and now he has to find out who he is outside of that role. With Rothy, it's being related to the prince and being technically royal but not feeling it. She also has this arc surrounding the fact that she doesn't know who her mother actually is because there is no reigning queen in that kingdom. So she is essentially left with a lot of questions now regarding relations she has and realizations she has had in her life. So what does Ivy mean to her now that she's not really considered an actual sister? It is established that Rothy is adopted, but she is more confused than ever about what her life is going to be like after this. What her loyalties lie with her friends, her supposed family, and dragons around her. How will she form relationships with Andy and Zane? Zane being her love interest and Andy being her now brother. What will Andy's relationship with dragons be like, since he was taught all his life that dragons are evil and needed to be controlled? A major topic in my story is about friendship and love, and I hope people feel that when they see my characters interacting with each other. Rothy's sister Ivy is very outgoing and out there, so when she realizes her sister is also outgoing and out there, she is very happy to hear this news. Her and Zane originally do not get along after all that time spent apart because Zane's character kind of changes since she's been taken. So it's a lot for her to get used to his new character and role in the story, but eventually they become besties even though they're like polar opposites of each other. As someone who can't draw dragons, I can draw animals well, but dragons, I need a little bit more help with that in practice, this is gonna be a lot for me to learn. So I'm not gonna post the dragon sketches for a while because I know I need to work on them properly, and that's okay. That's what sketchbooks are for, and a sketchbook tour will be coming soon, I promise. I need to get a better quality camera, or I can just use my phone probably, so that video will hopefully be coming out soon. It is filled with OCs and fan art of the Amazing Digital Circus, so if you like those two, then you'll probably like my sketchbook. Oh, and also, there's a lot of Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan art in there, and that's a very niche fandom, but I love Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that show is so underrated. The art style in that show really has influenced my art style. I don't know if that comes across that way, but I'm very influenced by Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and artists like Prickly Alpaca. So Rothy is a type A controlling eldest daughter, so she is very protective of those in her family, like Ivy and her now brother Andy. Their sibling dynamic is very much the oldest, middle, and youngest. So my canon birth order for them is Rothy is first, obviously, Andy is second, and Ivy is the third born. So Ivy isn't really getting along with Andy at first because he's the one who takes her to his father, and so Ivy is a little bit standoffish from him even when she learns that he is related to Rothy. She just doesn't fully trust that information and feels like she got that information wrong, even though it's been confirmed by multiple sources. So Ivy is really having an identity crisis because she doesn't know who she is now that her parents are both gone, and Rothy isn't related to her and she's related to somebody else, so she's like, okay, who am I outside of this family? So I wanted the shapes of circles and triangles to come across of Ivy's character design. She is a very determined individual, but she also can be very caring and loves her family and friends more than anything. This story has been in the back of my mind for many years. I've tried to write books about it. I've tried to just write scripts about it, but I was like, you know what? I'll just turn them into OCs and have fun with them. So after redoing this video, I realized that I never introduced myself. So hello, my name is Rachel. I also go by Rayamaticz art. And I wanted to thank you for listening to me yap about my OCs. And I hope you stick around to my channel. Please consider subscribing. You don't have to, but that would really help the channel a lot, and I hope to see you around in my next video. Bye guys!